jobs, but we will not have the right to apply to get into a better job, i.e. a government job. Well, for that, I'm only seeking your lordships to consider whether a purposive interpretation of that document can be done as to what is the indication for power to relax. Is it to put you on power, which some reading might suggest that you're on par with the 2-year course, or it is only specifically, as your lordships have said, to protect you in your jobs. And my lords, considering the fact, as your lordships have observed, that the orders of the 2 high courts were not challenged, and they were proceeded with in the manner in which we are trying to argue we should have been proceeded with, and the High Court in Uttarakhand has in fact proceeded with it. My lords, that would create 2 classes of people, one who have this on par with the 2-year course, and one who will, if your lordships go against us, would not be on par with the 2-year course. So, my lords, I'm only seeking that your lordships look at it purposively to see that this was not a permanent solution. It was just a solution for a specific time and place where there was no way that we could have been told to go and do a 2-year course because the time was not available. Retrospective application.
Specific purpose.
What is the purpose? Your purpose, your lordship.
Specific measure for specific purpose.
Well, if your lordships come to that conclusion, then really I can't argue any further that this was limited to the purpose that your job should not be taken away from you. But if it was for the purpose, and I'm asking your lordships or urging your lordships to consider this purposively, that this would amount to implied equivalent to who have a 2-year qualification. If you want to apply, you will be able to apply, etc. Otherwise, we'll have a job for the rest of our lives, but we will never be able to apply. Even in future, we will not be able to apply because we would artificially be put in a little bubble where we have a job, but we have no prospects of going further. Everybody else who are with us, who have been with us, have been teaching with us, have the same experience. If they have the 2-year course, they will go. And that will be done. I don't know whether the government will think of another notification where the course by distant education will be made into a 2-year course or not, but it
is already over. That was only for that particular period.
It. So it was okay. I'm grateful, my lord. It was over. It's now over. There is no proposition now. And being over, it means I will never be able to apply for a job because my equivalence.
And that course be not introduced for you. You have been thrown out of the job. And only to protect you in the job, that special window was opened.
Right. Thank you, Manoj. And we are grateful to the government for having done that. So our job, even people who were in the government service, who were government teachers, who didn't have the qualification, would have got the qualification and remain where they were. They will continue as government teachers. But I will not have any further prospects because as far as I'm concerned, your lordship will treat it as one-time solution to leave me in the job, rather than put me on par with anybody else who would apply, selected or get rejected on the basis of it. So I will be denied the opportunity of a job. That is the critical matter if your lordship interpreted it one way, and if your lordship interpreted it purposively, then I would be able to apply for the government jobs in future.
How would be purposeful interpretation of the principle of purposeful interpretation applicable?
Well, I'm grateful. All I'm saying is that at that time, when the government gave
on the contrary, if you apply the principle of purposeful interpretation, the interpretation will be against you. The purpose was that the persons are in qualification, in view of the RT Act and particularly Section 23 thereof, if they don't acquire the requisite qualification within a particular time, they will be out of job. Yes. And with that purpose in mind, the government came out with a special scheme, the object of which was to protect you in your employment.
Well, that's your lordship reading of that document is that this was the limited purpose. But the several documents that Mr. Arora read to you, lordships, they all deal with it in terms of...
Several documents only lead to that conclusion, and it basically emanates from the direction of HRD.
Well, it emanates from the direction of HRD. Direction of the HRD is saying that this is the immediate concern. But in all fairness, my lords, the HRD didn't say that this is our limited concern. that you take care of their job now, no future prospects. This is only for a limited purpose. But as your lordships read, it obviously reads like this is what they were wanting to address. But were they wanting to address it in a manner, I ask myself, that cut off all opportunities for future for me?
That is what document says. The protection in present day would not mean opportunity in future.
Well, I understand. But
There are two different things.
But your lordship will consider that people placed in my position, whether they are in Orissa or they are in Bihar, would be able to apply. They would have already applied, possibly got jobs, and they will apply in future as well. If I have a future opportunity, I still will not be able to apply unless, of course, I resign from my job or take leave and go and work go and do the course for 2 years. I will not have the opportunity.
They have got the opportunity because of a wrong judgment of a high court. We cannot be made to follow that.
Would your lordship hold it against me?
You cannot rely upon a wrong